Welcome to our tub. Come on in. It's warm inside, and there's always room for more.
This podcast contains adult material and is intended for mature audiences only. If you're under 18, grab your rubber ducky and find another tub. This one's not for you.
Hello and welcome back in the tub for episode 172. I'm Mr. Berg.
And I'm Mrs. Berg.
Well, and this week, we have a full episode interview, which is good. After with recovery and things, it's a little rough here for me, especially working with one arm. For those listeners that listened last week, my injury resulted in, surgery last week. So I'm on the shelf for a bit. But right now it hasn't changed anything. We did discuss the upcoming X Club trip. That's still on the schedule. And, we're just trying to now work out the finer details of Miami at the end of next month. So, still a lot of things coming up. And now I just add recovery to that as well. So, we'll see what they say at this point in a week when I go back and get stitches out. But, this is no joke now, having screws in my body to hold tendons and muscles in place. But getting into the interview, our guest today did a pretty good career in mainstream, OnlyFans, and own content creation. And as we discussed, currently making a shift out of that mainstream, or has made that shift out of mainstream, or studio adult. Going to be focusing on her OnlyFans, as well as a job in mainstream film. But was a good conversation. Really kind of talked about that transition and the realization that she had of, I'm probably not going to be a lifer. This isn't something that is a thing.
Right.
And for some people, that's the case. Some people, as we've had previous guests on the show, they have, 20, 30, 40 years in the industry.
Or come back into the industry after.
Exactly. I know last night we were watching,
decades
we were watching
hiatus.
the XRCO Red Carpet Awards last night. And so congratulations to all the winners there and the Hall of Fame inductees. There were definitely some previous guests that were award winners. So that list was published here this morning, and I did kind of look over it. But a past guest was on there, and it was funny as she was talking to Coral and Joel on the stream we were watching. She had said, hey, I had a 40-year career. I've been out, and I'm back in. It happens. Yeah. So, but again, this interview was very enlightening. It was engaging. It was a great conversation. So, as we say at the beginning of the interview as well, and want to take a minute and thank Lainey Spicer for coordinating this one and getting this performer onto the show, because it was a little bit different of a conversation than we typically have.
Yes.
So, without further ado, we're going to hop right into this interview and our conversation with Tori Easton. All right, welcome back in the tub and right into our next segment. We want to take a moment and thank Lainey Spicer for bringing our next guest to us. This award-nominated and winning, statuesque, stunning beauty has graced the scenes for some of the biggest names in the trans world, the likes of Transfixed, Gender X, and Evil Angel, just to name a few. Whether playing a dominant role or a sensual role, she brings electric energy to her scenes that has her name and brand continually growing in leaps and bounds, along with, for sure, the industry accolades that are sure to follow. Please welcome Tori Easton. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing well. So it is a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, lovely meeting you as well.
All right. So as we get comfortable here and before we get started, can you let the listeners know where can they find you online and on social media?
So all of my social media accounts are all the Tori Easton. That is including, Twitter, Instagram, and, most favorite, OnlyFans. So, yes.
Very good.
But yes.
It's always kind of a laugh because, wow, not many people can say, hey, I have the same one across all social media platforms. That's always a struggle.
Indeed. It was difficult because I just have, the average white lady name. So it's a struggle. I tried to buy just Tori Easton today. She got my account suspended for a bit for offering that, but
Yeah. Hey, just for
we
a
take
bit.
second best.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it back. Yes.
Nice. All right. Well, and again, as we said, we talked a little bit beforehand. Really a new name to us. We always kind of do our research and our background. We did flow through some social medias and some of your work on Adult Time. So can you take us and the listeners back to the beginning? How did the step into the industry all come about for you?
So I'm actually not very new to the industry. I did my first ever scenes when I was about 3 days past 18 with Groovy. So I did my first 7 or so scenes with them. And then I didn't really, it was just kind of a little side thing. Didn't think about it for a while. And then when I was 19 going on 20 is when I signed with Next Level. And I was their first ever trans performer that they had signed. And they really pushed me out. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, and so when was that, back in 2020?
Yes, that would have been back in 2020.
Okay. Yep. And just from some research, it was a Fresh Face nomination in the in one of the awards that year that we had saw. You were nominated for that. So
yes, for AVN, I believe they had that category. Yes.
Wow, very nice. So in the last 5 years, what's that looked like? Is it what you thought it would be then to now?
It's a good question because I wouldn't say that I had a very strong idea of what it was going to become, but I knew it was a correct path and a path that just seemed fitting. Mm-hmm. And what was available at the time, of course. But so yeah, definitely no, not what I would have expected at this point. Because now I've kind of transitioned out of porn, more specifically studio porn. I still do OnlyFans and stuff, but besides that, now I'm a stylist, and I wrap my last film with Amazon that comes out 2027. Yeah, but.
All right, so sliding more into mainstream and then kind of behind the scenes work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was that something that was? I guess was that an end result? Was that an end result you had thought of back when you started?
No, not at all. which I think it would transition to this point, though I always had an idea of, when to start, looking elsewhere. And
Yeah.
yeah, I knew it was fun for the time, but at a certain point, it's time to,
So did you?
branch out and,
Yeah.
do things more with your brain.
So did you have a background in acting previously?
No, so I'm not an actor, I'm a stylist.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
so stylist in the mainstream. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, yes. So I did have a background in fashion and stuff, but yes, not in the mainstream Hollywood sphere, not at all. But cards aligned, and you meet the right people who put you in the right places, and yes.
So so really two tiered now. If you obviously you still enjoy that that industry, if you're still doing the OnlyFans thing and your own stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't leave or take a step back rather from porn because I didn't like it so much. It was more so not very mentally stimulating. But it's always nice to have that there to dabble into and to like do it to the degree of which I want, not not being solely what my day is based upon.
Sure, it's the whole lifestyle about it, as you said, is that is your business. You better work it. You better keep doing it, and it can consume you.
Yes, especially when your business is you and you control it, and it's all just me, 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 me. It's pretty easy to neglect yourself, I can say from my experience.
Well, and that is, it takes a lot to admit that, and that's always something that we've kind of talked about on this show, and the mental well-being and mental health, and realizing that you need a break, you need to do something for you, and people struggle with that.
Me too. It's hard because the whole lifestyle around it. I mean, there's so many different aspects as to why it is hard to not just fully leave that life, but even just to assimilate in regular society, I guess, is just so different the way you view basically everything.
And
intimacy, money, what a work day looks like. It's just completely different. And so I remember when I had started this last movie, it was very jolting. And they just throw you to the sharks. And I mean, it's movie business at the end of the day. And if you can swim, you swim. And if you don't, you don't.
Yeah, the show must go on.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, and again, you're able to have that outlet with yourself, with the OnlyFans, and again, you can't let the industry consume you. Essentially, almost. I can imagine though, when you talk shooting movies as a stylist, I'm sure that's pretty intense and pretty long days and travel and all of that as well.
Insanity. I mean, part of why it was so jolting is because of studio work. It was, oftentimes my schedules for years was I would technically really only be working on set 5 days out of the month. Okay. And the rest of that was kind of left to either working on my own pages and my own content, and or just personal upkeep and keeping up with the lifestyle and going to events. And so it's very, very different to then be grinding for someone else, is how I thought of it for a moment. But
yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, you have. in the studio, okay, you're working for a studio, but as you said, you're there maybe 5 days a month shooting. Well, now you're and I
5 days a week.
yeah, 5-6 days a week, long days.
But,
I mean,
yes.
16-hour days, right?
Yes, that's what it was. 12 hours, 6 days a week.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we see it here. Pittsburgh, where we're based, has really become kind of a hotbed for mainstream movies and shows, whether it be the Netflix, the Amazon, and they'll come in and you see stuff that pops up, and hey, this whole area is going to be closed for 16 hours because they're filming something.
Yeah.
And
A lot of the industry is, moving out, to Georgia. With this last film, we were toying back and forth with, they were leaning more towards shooting in Maryland because just budget-wise.
Sure.
But one of our producers was, thank God, able to, work it out to where we were able to shoot, in Brooklyn and in New York, and it worked out perfectly. Thank God. I don't know if I could spend that long in Maryland.
Yeah. Depending on what area of Maryland it is, I don't know. Yeah. So it's great to kind of expand that out. So was that something, the whole stylist? Was that something that you always kind of had in a back pocket? Is that something you had gravitated towards in kind of a younger age?
I would say gravitated towards, but since I was, sucked into porn so early, I wouldn't say it was something I had in my back pocket because I still really had no, true experience that you would, could put on a resume without being laughed at. But yeah, that was always something that I leaned on, and I was. Before porn, actually, I got accepted into the New York Fashion Institute, and so I was going to do that. And porn happened, and it's just porn was much more tempting, and they weren't charging me.
Exactly. Yeah. Here we go. That's quick money in the bank, and
yes.
Now, at the same time, you started in 2020. Not long after that, the pandemic hit. So is that when the OnlyFans came about for you? Or did you kind of jump on that early on as well?
So right when I did my first scenes was probably, I would 2 to 3 months after it had hit.
Okay.
Hence why, didn't mind, because I lived in San Luis Obispo at the time, and I had no problem driving down to Los Angeles to shoot these quick scenes. And but yes, before that, so also right when I turned 18, so only what was it, 3 to 4 months prior, maybe, I had signed up for OnlyFans as soon as they would verify my ID. And, but yes, and I viewed that as still very early on. I guess it wasn't anywhere near what it is today. But it was becoming more common. You see, seeing girls you went to high school with or something, making $150 a month or something.
Yeah, make it a little bit, and that's it. It was there, and definitely when the pandemic hit, it just blew up.
Yes. Yeah, which is right when I started. And so I remember when I started, I was starting with the blow up money. So that was quite nice.
And I was going to say, that is, when you see that, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. All right, this is good. Now it has leveled out, I think, to an extent, but it still is. If you're doing well, you got your fan base.
Yeah.
From that long in, I'm sure you got a great fan base.
Oh, yeah. So that's, it really depends on the performer, because with me, you would think, because I started with the boom, you would think that at some point it crashed. But because I went from boom to then porn, and then more and more, whatever. So it was never, there wasn't a crash moment for me because I kept up that image the whole time. I think more so people who experience, it really dropping back down, or people who had, been around for quite some time, or a lot of people who had stepped away from that industry before the pandemic and then got back in during, because they needed the money.
Sure.
Similar as we see today, I've been seeing recently a lot of new followers from people I don't know or recognize, but their bios say, back to the scene, or I'm back to shooting, or off, leave.
Yeah.
I'm not on pause anymore, like Bravo. Kind of thing.
Well, and there was definitely, you saw a drop as well, because there were people that got into it during the pandemic because they had to, and then afterwards they went back to their 9-to-5 jobs. They made some good money, and they had to go back to that 9-to-5 job, but then just tried to dabble because the struggle truly is, you have got to be working it.
Yeah, as most things are, it's all about balance, but that in particular, it's a lot, and very few people can do that. It's like you're managing basically two completely different lives.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I mean, there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, and we've discussed that. I mean, we've done a little bit. We haven't really focused a lot on it, but I mean, two separate lives. That's just like the non-monogamous swinger lifestyle. Guess what? We're worker. We're every day working, doing what we do during the day, and then at night here's your other life. You're going out and hooking up and playing with somebody else.
Yes.
So
definitely
it's a juggle.
parallels there, but when it comes to as a creator, because it's a little different when it's like, if I drop one of these balls I'm juggling, there goes my bills.
That's $500. Yeah, that could be $500 you miss out on, or over time it could be a couple $1,000. So, on your OnlyFans, what can someone that subscribed to it expect to find there?
They can expect to find a very hefty library of collabs and videos that I have made from the ages of 18 till I made one yesterday. And so, there's basically everything. I've done many scenes with me and cis women, me and trans women, me and men, and, most capacities. I don't know how many more I could do, but take recommendations, I guess.
Hey.
But I do custom videos a lot. That's a big thing, especially since I don't do studio work. I noticed after that people were much more inclined to buy a custom video, build their own fantasy now that I'm not doing the, because I typically mostly worked for Adult Time towards my end years, who did, big, story-driven kind of thing. And I noticed when I stopped working with them, a lot of those people came over and, wanted me to kind of do that myself, which that's been interesting to do, because I was so not familiar with setting up the back end, especially in the art field.
Oh, that's
writing scripts.
I was going to say that's fair. Writing a script or playing out a scene, and that's
setting up the space for the scene too.
Yeah, props or whatever it might be. Yeah, there's a lot. That goes
that I was always great at because that ties into fashion, and I have resources to use certain places, or to wardrobe like that I could totally do. But when it came to this is my fantasy, this is I want XYZ I was never a writer. I'm dyslexic. Like,
It takes a lot of planning and thought and everything with that. Yeah, very interesting.
So I have a good friend of mine who is a writer, who still work with me and the fan as well. So to curate their own little fantasy land, I guess.
Very nice. And we've talked about that with numerous other performers and even ourselves as well. That storyline world of adult entertainment has really become a big thing. It's not, Gonzo is still out there, but not so much anymore. And as you said, Adult Time and Transfixed, and they do some. They're across the board. You get comedies, you get suspense thrillers. They really do a great job in that.
And it makes a lot of sense because, it just kind of seems like a very natural transition to, I hate to say this, but stay afloat, because at this point it is such an oversaturated market to where if studios were still making what they made back in the day, like, what was popular then, like, casting couches or broke straight, like that casual, like anyone could do that.
Yep.
And
Bang Bus,
does do that,
casting couch,
where
those
it's
things.
just someone with a phone and two people on a dirty couch. Like, anyone can do that, and they're doing it by the plenty. And so it makes a lot of sense in order to, keep relevancy, that they had to transition into being a little bit more grandiose, which I think is a fabulous transition. So.
And again, they do a great job with all of their stuff on that site. Really well thought out. They got some great writers.
They absolutely do. Yes, for Adult Time, most of my scenes were always written by, and the trans scenes in general are always written by Michael Vegas and Susie Q and Bree Mills. And they can just really sometimes write some beautiful, amazing scripts that I could never in a million years come up with.
And Susie Q and Bree, the stuff that Bree Mills has put out over the years is just is she's an award winner. There's a reason for that.
There's a reason, right? Yeah.
Indeed. Yes. Well, actually, I this last award season, which I guess will kind of somewhat be my last, to my knowledge, where I'll have scenes that are nominated, anyways. And I didn't go, but I did win at XBiz and AVN for, I believe it was Best Trans Sex Scene for both. And the script was written with a collaboration of the girl who helps me with my writing, Mary Jane, and then Susie Q, Ariel Demure, and Michael Vegas, the two on Adult Time. So
very nice. Well, congratulations. That's nice. Not a bad way to slide out of that theater studio world.
It was nice, and I didn't show up, but I got it in the mail. But yes, we were on film, and
and the thing, the reality, the way that those award shows were laid out, you almost had to pick one. You almost had to pick one of them. We talked to so many people to do them back to back, and we were, we were nominated for an AVN. And it was like, do we go? Do we this? And we had people, hey, are you going to come to AVN? Are you going to come to XBiz? And I'm like, man, that's just a lot of like back to back with it. Yeah. And we got to travel across the country. So that just is, it even adds more to it.
Yes. People and fans, they just really don't realize how taxing those events are. Because as soon as they started after COVID, I was going to all of them because at the time was very much in the mindset of like, these are your, golden years.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kira Noir had said something quite insightful to me that gave me that idea, where she had said, she's on a date and some man had said some snarky comment about like, well, what do you get old? And like, no one wants that. And she's like, I spent my golden years building such a library and doing so much, and that content lives forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I did with it. I was going to every award show every day, and I remember after the award season would end, I would just like collapse. Like my body did not work for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same way with me and all my friends. We all just like went into full hibernation.
Yeah. You need that recovery because again, and fans
You
don't
do.
fans don't realize it. So we do the Exotica conventions that are here on the East Coast, and it's they're 3 days, and they're exhausting for us.
Yeah.
And
We're not even putting on
And
that
like,
facade of a persona.
yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
we're not seeing fans and being nice, and you have to be in that, pretty all the time,
bouncing around and working with, because when you're there signing and stuff, you're typically working with multiple different companies, and so you're trying to interact with fans and like be there physically and mentally, and then you're also somehow trying to manage the back end of like, oh no, I hate to be here at this time, I have to leave here at this time, but I'm being pulled in every which direction. So
and a lot of the performers are also shooting while they're there, whether it's collabs,
yes,
or
well, it would be like, and see, I was bad with that. I would always plan to, because at the end of the day, all of that comes out of our pockets. Our agencies don't chip in, none of that. We are paying to, go to whatever city, to stay there, to,
the travel, the eat, everything.
To put us together, Avets, and to see them. And so it only makes sense to also put collabs in at the same time. But every year it always ended up where it was just like, it was so hard to manage.
Yeah.
Then it's also like the only time that people get in between those things, when it would be, just creator only events or like time. Of course they want to just get sloshed with their friends.
right.
And guilty. And
you gotta unwind. You gotta have an unwind time, and that's it.
You have to. You'd be leaving a straitjacket if you didn't. So I'm sure someone would be very into.
Hey, the kink world's
there's a niche somewhere for that.
The kink world is growing right now.
But that's what the fans don't realize, is how much those things take out of the performers, physically, mentally, emotionally, just to be there and on all the time.
Yes. No kidding. And I mean, for me personally, it was like in the moment, and maybe it was just like, there's so much going on, so much like just, dopamine from all this, and when, all these things, or adrenaline from, being pulled back and forth, or maybe I get off on stress a little or something. Where in the moment, most of the time, I did it very well, because you're just like going, and then it's like when you're able to stop, you're like, Jesus, my legs, I can't feel them.
And there's a lot about that excitement and just everything. I'm that kind of person. Like, I love Las Vegas because it's fast paced. There's always something going. There's this, that.
Yes.
But then at the end, you're just like, oh shit, I'm exhausted. What did I just do?
Yes.
But you don't feel it.
I mean, I moved to New York when I left studio porn, and I feel you 100% there. It's just I find such peace in chaos,
Yes.
and so and I just do quite well in very stressful times.
Yeah.
I get skinny. I get so much done.
Well, and as well, I look at my professional background is in food service. So the controlled chaos of being in a kitchen and just the mass insanity, people look and say, I've had customers walk into the kitchen after they're done eating that are sitting at a table that can see in, and they're like, it is controlled chaos. How do you handle this? I'm like, it takes a special kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But that's the way I am.
Oh, sorry.
No, good. Yeah.
In my teen years, I moved out of the home very young, but in my teen years, I had worked as a hostess at an Italian restaurant, and I avoided going back there at all costs.
Yeah.
It was like my equivalent to Vietnam. I just could not. And then it was like, I remember all the cooks and, preps or whatever, anytime I'd walk in there, they just give me those looks of you just get to stand there and look nice, and I want to put this red knife in you.
And
I was gonna
I'd like
say-
it in me too.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. You might walk back there and something might go flying at your head, or who knows.
So you said after you got out of studio, you kind of moved across the country. Is that for the current job, or is it a different pace?
So it was not specifically for this job. It was something that I had always wanted to do, but in my time in studio, it was always just a far off little dream of oh, you're not going to spend these years there, and maybe one day I'll go spend a year or so there, much later on. And then I got to that point where I was like, no, I'm really feeling like it's time to call it, or at least not only take a break, but completely leave the city of which, I mean, because LA is synonymous with porn, and I grew up there, and so everything about that city just reminds me of porn. So
yeah,
it was more just to completely leave that environment and see where things went, and so happy I did that, and because that led to this.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
The pieces just fell into place.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Right time, right place. Things happen for a reason. So yeah, that's awesome. So,
Yes.
as you talked about this job and travel, and doing the OnlyFans, we talked a little bit ago, and mental health came up. What does keeping yourself grounded and mental health look like for you? What do you do when you're not working?
Currently? I'll give you both answers. So, while you're actively really working studio work, OnlyFans, and that's just the full grind of it, to maintain what most of the population would consider to be adequate mental health care is something I don't know if I've ever truly seen anyone pull off. But I mean, it's just kind of impossible because you're being pulled in so many different ways to do different things. It's just easy that it's just not reasonable to be that consistent. Granted, everyone is different with what they need in that regard. For me, I mean, I started right at 18. I had no one was talking about that.
Sure.
Really at all, besides other, performers and, people in the industry who are also just shit sucks, I don't know what to do about it, kind of thing. And now that has shifted with companies like Pineapple Support and just the overall social awareness of mental health and its importance. And so, yeah, it all comes down to what each person needs. Because there's the physical toll that doing studio work and all that can take on certain people, especially trans women more so, where it's kind of held to an impossible standard of they want you to be ultra feminine, which in order to do so, there's requirements, medication wise, genetics wise, privileges of being able to come out very young, like I was, but then they also want you to be able to, be a completely opposite sex somewhere else and be fully functional in that way. And when you're not, some people don't have an understanding that it's you don't have control of your body like a robot.
Totally fair. Yeah.
The studios do now, but and I think fans of, with studios, advocating for us and that shift, it's also kind of shifted with fans, but not all of them.
I mean, and fans want to see it when they have their expectations as well, and sometimes hey, they're not realistic again because they aren't.
And I mean,
knowledgeable.
And some people can, like, sometimes I can do all of those things, but sometimes I can't, and it all just comes down to that. So there's also the physical toll of what it takes, because there's, I mean, quite the regimen you can take that, you have a better chance of, pulling it off.
Yeah.
And so you learn your routine and, what little concoctions of whatever gets you to be able to be on, every corner of the spectrum.
Yeah, and all that.
And just
costs money.
Right, costs money. And just like with any any medications, hormonal treatments, like they have pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also leads back into the mental health thing of there's not much research on basically any of it when it comes to specifics of certain medications that are being mixed in order to do that. And so it's really just, you're a little test picky.
Yeah, exactly, because you're just mixing concoctions.
And I mean, I did that for quite a while, where it's just like trial and error. And luckily I had a good, very close, two girls in the industry with me, like sisters, Jade Venus and Ariel Demure, who was like, we were able to, share our doctors and share what's working for them and like build off of that, which made it so much easier for all of us.
A support network's huge.
Yeah, that's not it's not very common at all in the industry. So
now it
not to that level, but
yeah, and it can. I mean, it can be a cutthroat business. Yes. But like, and we've always said, the industry is a very dysfunctional family. It's still a family, but it's very dysfunctional.
Yes, indeed. You don't, you only go for a few holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Every other year.
Yeah.
We all have even those real family members.
Yeah, it's like, do we need to invite them? Yeah.
You find your equivalent to the aunt you don't want to sit next to, and
That's it.
There can be a lot of bad aunts.
So, yourself, what do you do outside of work?
Outside of work,
what do you enjoy?
Play tennis.
Okay.
I play tennis. I'm very into nightlife. I work out a lot. I'm in New York. I big drinking, and I mean, in my business also, a lot of my work is socializing. It is staying connected with everyone, because it's just waiting on the next thing to happen, and it's all just staying involved. in that community and just in life in general, I guess. But so that is kind of what all of my life is taken up with, is social events and work and, exercise, basically.
So New York, in the city.
So New York.
Food scene.
Mm-hmm.
What's
The
your
food scene.
what are some of your go-tos that you found there from a food standpoint?
My go-tos. Let's see. My favorite go-to is Olio de Pepo. It is actually like a few blocks down. It's a fabulous little Italian place that makes the most lovely cocktails.
Bonus, little Italian, so that means
Mhm.
fresh. Everything's done by hand
Indeed.
and cocktails.
Yes,
Nice.
absolutely. Those Italians know how to drink, and I like them.
Yeah, that's good wines
mhm.
and get a good cocktail here or there. All right.
Yes, no, the food culture is, not even comparable to Los Angeles, where it's all people sitting indoors having their Uber Eats. It's so lovely being in a place where people are walking out their door to stop and, have a bite and, even if they're not talking to each other and just scowling at each other, at least they're like, it's a human to human.
Nice.
But, yeah.
And we always like to ask that. I mean, as I said earlier, I've been in the food business all of my life, so we're familiar with New York, and we lived up in Connecticut, just outside, for quite a while. So enjoy the city. Enjoy visiting the city. I could never live there. Nope. I'd lose my mind.
It takes a certain amount of grit. Especially those winter months, but when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it can be pretty fucking bad.
and I need grass. I need the sea. I need to be able to go and sit outside. And essentially, we live in the country, so I'm like, all right, great, no neighbors around me.
Yes.
Yep.
See, I was never like that. I actually prefer the exact opposite, 'cause I always did have that.
Yeah.
And I always yearned for. I think it was more so because I always stuck out for obvious reasons, and so it was. I loved the sense of kind of being anonymous, because everyone is so in their own thing, and there's so much happening that no one gives a shit about you. No one cares what you're doing. Yeah, because they have. Are they going to worry about you? They have their own lives.
Yeah. It's fast paced, and everybody's just worried about themselves and not everything else. Where, you get into a small community here, and it's everybody knows everybody's business and everybody's life. And gosh, I remember when when a big chunk of friends found out about the show, about us doing this show. Yeah. And the fact that we were talking about being swingers and all of that, and it was like, you get a few looks, and I'm like, you know what, whatever, I don't give a shit. Mind your own business.
Yeah. Well, I also come from a very small community. Like, so I didn't grow up in Los Angeles proper. Yeah. And it was the same deal. And now it's like a kind of a good thing, and I think it's just because I always held it with so much pride, I guess, and I also rarely ever put it. But my mom is still, and my family in general is still very involved in that community.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm sure there's quite a few people who look down upon it, but
yeah. Tough shit. That's
from her perspective, she always says it's like, people are just impressed because, most any of your classmates made was, construction worker, management.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? Hey, guess what? You had a successful career. You're a successful person. So, guess what? Turn your head up all you want. Here I am.
Yeah.
And I packed my bags and got the hell out and moved across the country.
Indeed. You can stick your nose back down into the pavement.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a fun conversation. It's really been great getting to know a little bit about who you are, your past. So from a future standpoint, based on this, hey, it's going to be an OnlyFans world moving forward.
Indeed.
So, that's, hey, you're working for yourself. You're doing your own thing and have fun doing it.
Indeed, I thank you.
Yeah. So,
and you enjoy swinging and,
hey,
all the things.
we're here for a short time, so enjoy it while we are. Live it up and have fun. That's it.
Indeed.
Yep. Have some good cocktails and do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy.
Absolutely.
That's it. So again, good luck to you in the future. It's been a pleasure meeting you. And hey, you never know. Maybe our paths will cross at some point.
Perhaps. I mean, I go to parties and so you attend parties. And,
we're at parties and yeah. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes, thank you. You as well.
All right. Well, again, as we had said kind of in the intro, a little bit different of a conversation. As it, we got some of her insights within the industry and what really kind of drove her to look elsewhere and make a career change. While still being in the industry and doing what she does enjoy on her own terms. So again, as she shared, her OnlyFans is out there. Her social medias are out there. Be sure to give her a follow. Check her out. And we're not going to really waste all that much more time. We are going to wrap this episode up. Again, a few other things coming here in the future. We're a few weeks out of our trip up to Toronto. So keep an eye out on social medias for more information on that. And then we're going to start, again, getting fine-tuned for our trip down to Miami in, just over a month, probably about 5 weeks, not even 4 weeks at this point, as we sit here and record today. So, fair to say we're going to wrap it up?
Sounds like a plan.
Don't forget to follow us on our social medias. Berg Couple for Fun on Twitter and Instagram. The Bergs on Facebook and Reddit. OnlyFans.
Yeah.
What's the OnlyFans? There's 2 of them.
There are.
Did you? Yeah, I remember that one. There's 2 of them. So there is ours. Is Berg Couple for Fun, but then,
yes,
Mrs. has her own.
That's right.
Oh, and that is
Mrs. Berg.
All right. So you can catch us there as well. You can hit us up on email, thebergs@inourtub.com.
Right.
Our website is inourtub.com.
Catch us on Free Swap or
Full.
Yeah, full Free Swap. Full Swap Radio. See, you asked me if I remember my lines.
Free for all swap. I mean, hey.
On Full Swap Radio.
Yes. Monday at 9 and Fridays at 1. And hey, keep an eye out on those social medias that's where our travel plans and the upcoming where we gonna be is gonna be. So, with that, remember to pay for your porn. Support all the wonderful, beautiful content creators and performers that we have on this show, that we know within the industry. Take care of yourself, mental health. Do what makes you keep ticking and being yourself. Remember to wrap it before you tap it. Lick it before you stick it. And until next time.
We'll keep the lights on and the tub warm for you.